Hello, this is Phil Simborg, USBGF Teaching Pro. One of my students, by the way, I am a pretty much full-time backgammon teacher. So in addition to working for and with and promoting the U.S. Backgammon Federation, I do teach backgammon and lecture at major tournaments. I've got a tournament coming up pretty soon in Ohio. That'll be an exciting tournament where I'll be lecturing at the end of this month. Check out the schedule on the USBGF page. There's a great tournament coming up this next weekend also in Chicago that Bill Davis is running that I'm looking forward to as well. And I'm excited that I won't be lecturing. I'll get a chance to play. But look for me at any major tournament, and I'll give you about 400 reasons why you should join the USBGF. One of which is that if you are a member, you can access about over 200, I'm getting close to maybe 250 videos, short videos like this on just about every subject. Let's take a look at this position. It was sent to me by one of my students last night. How would you play 5-4 here for red? I'll be quiet, or you can actually pause the tape and take your time and then come back and see what the right play is, and we can talk about why. So, what's your play? Again, if you need more time, pause the tape. I think most people here would have a difficult time finding the right play. I know it took me some time myself, and when I get a problem like this, I don't immediately look at the answer. I try to work it out myself, and I'm very proud to say that I did work it out. I wasn't 100% sure at all. When you check my confidence level, which I do with myself all the time, I did not have a real high confidence in the play because I think this is really a tough play. But let me show you that the right play by far is to move and leave a couple of blots. To play it really what they call playing it big. You leave him a 4 to hit you here, a 5 to hit you here. You keep your structure, in other words. And you do this largely because this blot is here. Now, when my students saw this play, they were pretty much shocked. They thought it was probably right to break the 8-point or the 7-point, which is I think what most people would do here. Not leave lots of shots, just give up the 8-point or give up the 7-point and just leave this one blot. We all have a tendency to want to play safe. This is what they call in the category of a pay now, pay later. Here you're trying to pay later, you're trying to leave fewer shots, but if you look at this position, and you make a play like this or clearing the 8-point, what you're doing is you're leaving yourself a fairly dangerous position anyway. Right now, he has some very good rolls. Pardon me, like a 2-1 and 4-1 that hit and cover, a double 2 or a double 4, or a 4-2 that makes this point. And even if he just covers with a 3 or with 10 from here, getting this checker out into safety isn't the easiest thing in the world. You've got this blot inside your inner board, so he isn't that much afraid to just make this point or to cover this point and hit this loose, which you could do, for example, with a 4-3. He could cover with the 3, hit with the 4. So this is not that safe anyway. This play, there aren't that many rolls that hit either of these two checkers and cover, but you're getting your checkers moving. But the first thought should be about game plan. You're well up in the race, and you should be racing, and it's probably going to be harder to race later than now. The other thing is if you break the 8-point or the 7-point, you're more likely to leave shots later after he's made this point and doesn't have a blot. And this play, of course, leaving 2 shots in here lets him hit you even if he has to leave a double shot here. This play doesn't leave 2 blots, but again, you're giving up some communication here, some ability to bring your checkers in more safely. Let's say you get away with this play and everything goes very well. Clearing this point isn't going to be very easy, or this point when you don't any longer have the 8-point. That's all logic. That's all from experience. That's all trying to predict how it's going to play out and see how it plays out. But here's a real good idea, in my opinion. Hit Control, put it back to the original. Hit Control C, which copies the position to your clipboard, so that if you move things around or play it out a little bit and you want to put it back up, then you just hit Control V as in Victor, and the position pops right back up again. Now, why would I do that? Because I think one way to really see why the right play is the right play or the wrong play is the wrong play is to see what happens. If you can't envision how the game plays out, play it out a few times. And I'm not talking about playing it out to the end, just 2 or 3 rolls. So how do you do that? Let's first of all make a play that, for example, that you preferred. Let's say you preferred clearing the 8 point. So you move 5 and 4 from the 8 point and see how it plays out. Now put blue on roll and make it double action so you don't know what the dice are going to be, so they're random, and play it out from here against Extreme Gammon. Go to setup, play from position, make yourself red, make Extreme Gammon blue, and put it at a high level of Extreme Gammon. This is about as high as it can go without having to do lots of time to roll it out, and this is better than any human plays. And let's see how this game plays out. So I hit OK. Blue decided not to double, played a 6-5. Playing it out 1 or 2 or 3 times isn't going to tell you for sure what play was right or why it's right. This play might work beautifully, and you might even gammon him, but that doesn't mean it was the right play, but at least you get a feel for how it plays out. Then make your play, 3-1. How would you play 3-1? Think about how you would play 3-1, and I don't know, I guess maybe I'd come out with the 3 and cover with the 1. Before you do it, let's see if it's the right play. I'll hit the light bulb. By the way, I'm playing in the free mode. You go to options, game mode, and free mode is where I like to play, or I can just hit the F2 button for free mode. Free mode lets me have the pip count, saves me a little time, and also I can see if I make an error right away, and I can get help by hitting the light bulb. I can get a hint. So let's see what Extreme Gammon says. It says my 3-1 play was right. If I had come up with the wrong play, I still want to make the right play, because playing it out doesn't tell me much if I'm making a whole bunch of bad plays. So I'm going to make the right play with the 3-1 and see what happens. If he had hit me here, I could pretty well see that I was dead toast, but I'm already beginning to see the problem with that other play. How am I going to bring this home? How am I going to get this checker home and these checkers home and these checkers home? It's not that easy. Of course, he's kind of stiff too. It could go either way. This could work out properly. Here's a good example. How do I play this 5-4 safely? There's probably no other play than to just go ahead and give him the 4 shot now. So again, before I make the move, there's no other play besides giving him the 4 shot now. And I play it out. You get the idea. If he hits me here, I'm in pretty bad shape, unless I roll a 5. That would be, whether I roll the 5 or not wouldn't prove anything. It just gives me a feel for it. But I can see sort of how this game played out. Now I'm going to go back and hit Control V and do the whole thing again, and I might do it 3 or 4 or 5 times, and I'll start to see the problem with leaving this checker back here and breaking this point. Then I'll make XG's play, the play that I really didn't understand, maybe, where you bring this 5 out to here, and you bring this 4 to here, and you leave the double shot. Now I put blue on roll, make it double action, and play this game out, not again to the end, because there's too much noise when you get to the end, 4, 5, 6 times, and see how this game plays out, and find out why this play seems to win more, or why this play is going to work out better for me. So that's my recommendation for getting more insight into a play that you don't understand. Oh, there is one other thing I want to show you. I'm going to go back to the original. And I think another very important thing to do to get insight is to look at the numbers. Let's go back to the original play. The right play wins the game 48% of the time, and breaking the 8 or the 7 point, which was the play that most people would make, only wins the game 45% of the time. Gammons are about the same that you win. You get gammoned more by about 2%. So now I can understand a little bit more about the right play. It wins the game more, and it gets gammoned less. Those are the numbers that seem to most affect the play. So I can, with that additional insight, I can really get into it a little bit more. By the way, most people, when you get your XG, you don't get to see these numbers. Display winning percent as graphic. You get to see this graphic bar, and you can hover your mouse over it and then look at these numbers, but to me that's buggy. I like to be able to see the numbers side by side and compare the two, as I just did. So I right click on this and hit display winning percent as values, so I can see the wins right away, the gammons that I win, and the gammons that I lose from all the different plays at the same time. I hope this was helpful for you. Again, if you were a member of the USBGF, you will see many, many more of these. Usually they're available only to members. Every now and then I'll post it like this as sort of an advertisement for seeing these videos. And there's about, maybe 15 other fantastic reasons to join the U.S. Backgammon Federation that give you tremendous benefits and information and articles and magazines, and the ability to get into free rolls at tournaments. If you never make it to a tournament, if you're not a U.S. citizen, join and you'll get a lot of benefits. And there's another very major reason to join. You're supporting an organization that works with federations all over the world to help promote our favorite game. So we appreciate your support, and thanks for watching this video. Bye-bye.